How many names do you have?
How many names?
I know of 3 of them. I think there are more.
All right, you know, which ones do you know? Sorry.
I know Mr.Magfest. I know Inverse Phase.
Okay.
Yes.
You know Brendan.
Yes.
DJ Pantsless, also because I'm normally wearing shorts, which don't really count as pants to most people, I guess. P2E, which is actually P2E, but, you know, like it's spitting noise. TGZ, which actually doesn't stand for anything. That's like my original BBS handle from when I was like 11.
Dude, I like a good BBS handle. That's awesome.
Mr. Moo and the Moron Men. Is that awesome or what? That is something that only like a 10 or 11-year-old could come up with. I mean, my AIM handle is Unix Game Rocker.
We've been to a number of different festivals and conventions, and the one thing that we've noticed in almost everyone that we've gone to is they've pretty much at some point sold out. Like, I'm seeing some hoochie mamas standing in front of a car. I'm seeing a bunch of people push motherboards. I'm seeing a lot of commercialism. And one thing that the Classy Man I have said time and time again is that we have felt that somebody talked to me and said, "Hey, Andy, what kind of gaming convention festival would you want to go to?" And I would be like, "Well, I would love to have arcade machines. I'd love to have an awesome gaming room. Of course, I would have like my favorite bands playing." We are floored by how continually this is geared towards the real person and not being marketed towards the whole time that we're here. Do you find, like, as you've kind of moved forward over the years, that you've had to push away from that, or do you feel like you haven't been approached, or because we're just floored that you're not just completely overloaded with a bunch of commercialism?
We just don't want it. I mean, like, you know, I mean, when someone vomits, like, you know, a commercial name all over an event, you know, I mean, no offense to those events, but, you know, that's not our style. You know, those events are expos, those events are conventions, those events are trade shows. You know, I mean, like, back in our 3rd year, someone came to Magfest, and back then we were not the Music and Gaming Festival, we were the Mid-Atlantic Gaming Festival, and we called ourselves a video game convention and all sorts of things. And someone came and got a little pissed off and said, "Yeah, Magfest convention is more like a giant video game party with a rock concert." And I was like, tagline. You know, but that we now actually stay away. Like, if I notice a page on the website that says the word convention, I remove it, just because I don't like that word. I don't want people. I want to be something different. I want, you know, I mean, people. You can go to fan conventions, and they are similar to us, yes, and we borrow a lot of ideas from each other, sure. But in the end, I want to be that one that's set apart, that, you know, is doing something different or trying something different, or, you know, like, not afraid to, you know, like, try something new and see if it works or whatever, in the name of being able to have fun with people, you know, like. And the thing is time and time again, it works, and we continue to kind of diversify in a direction that is away from most you know, other events. And everyone approaches me and they say, "Brendan, I love your show, I love what you're doing, and I've had so much fun. I don't know why other people aren't doing, you know, like X number 1, 2, or 3 or whatever." And I realized that decision was the right decision. You know, like, I get like affirmation every single day that was the right choice. You know, that, like, I was just like, well, what kind of party would I want to be at? And then I just, you know, kind of say, well, I would want this and I would want that, and I'm like, well, how can I make that happen? Do
you want to grow Magfest right now, or you're saying, like, look, at a certain point we've got to put a cap on this and really just make it more quality over quantity, or just say, you know what, we can still go bigger, we still have room to grow a little bit and still give everybody that personal experience that that a lot of people have said over time and time again to us, is that personalized experience here, having the free plays and being able to just kind of not feel like they're, you know, out of pocket. You know, they come in here and they're like, if I want to spend more money, I can on some really cool stuff, but it's not like I'm getting nickel and dimed and sold and all that stuff. And are you guys I mean, you know, for Magfest 10, are you saying, man, we sold this one out, do we need to get to a bigger venue, or do we want to just keep it, you know, the same size venue?
It's a tough call. When we capped and closed registration and told people they were screwed and that they couldn't get in, Nothing makes me more sad, and nothing was more difficult than having to tell 200 people that they couldn't go to MagFest after I had told them all year that they should go. That is incredibly difficult. I don't ever want to have to tell someone that. But even more than not wanting to tell someone that, I mean, like, I feel like we can grow, but I also feel like if we grow to the point where we lose our vibe, which you know exactly what I'm talking about now that you're here, but probably wouldn't have known if you hadn't have been here. Once we lose our vibe, I'm pretty sure it would be due to attendance, and I feel like I would probably cap or recommend that to the other guys that we start slowing things down a little bit and keeping it around that size instead of like huge. I always wanted to do something big. This already is big, I mean, like this is huge to me. I mean, like, there are other conventions on either coast or anywhere else that have, I mean, tens or even hundreds of thousands of people, but I don't get the same feeling at those events that I get at MagFest. So if I ever do anything that causes MagFest to lose that vibe, that's when I know that I need to stop and rethink. So basically, that's my stopping point. It doesn't really have anything to do with size. If I can run a 10,000 person event and it still feels like this, I'll do it. But I'm not. My goal is not to grow as much as my goal is to continue to do it and continue to be able to hang out with people.
Well, that sounds pretty awesome. We're gonna go ahead and cut it off. But I'm gonna say, if you've had as little sleep as I've had, trying to get as much as you can out of it, I've had about 5 hours of sleep, maybe 6 or so in the last couple of days, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I thank you for that. So, thanks a lot. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure.